Here are the top stories for today, December 22nd, 2020. The proposed imposition of the death penalty in the country surfaced following a brutal killing in Turlock. The 2021 national budget is already finalized and will be signed by the President on Monday. A survey showed that more Filipinos are satisfied with how the government handles the COVID-19 pandemic. And let us take a look at soldiers and police officers who bring joy to kids this Christmas season. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang said President Rodrigo Duterte wants to restore capital punishment in the Philippines, but his plan would only be possible once he gets the support of lawmakers. However, the fate of the proposed death penalty in the country depends on Congress. The public outcry for the reimposition of the death penalty was revived after a video of a shooting incident in Turlock involving a police officer went viral on social media. In his fifth and penultimate State of the Nation address on July 22nd, Duterte renewed his call on Congress to reinstate the death penalty for heinous crimes related to drugs and plunder. Duterte's call prompted the House Committee on Justice in August this year to start the deliberations on bills pushing for the revival of the death penalty. Congress, however, has yet to pass a harmonized bill on the planned revival of capital punishment.
Malinaw po ang stand ng Presidente dyan. Pabor po ang Presidente sa death penalty, lalong-lalo na po sa wide-scale drug trafficking. Pero nasa kamay na po yan ng mga mambabatas.
Meantime, Roque said it is better to take videos during crime incidents so it would be easy for victims to get the justice they deserve. This after PNP's Chief General de Bolsinas discouraged the public from filming crime incidents so as not to put their lives at risk. Roque said videos of crime incidents could serve as evidence against crime suspects like Nuesca.
Mas mabuti pa rin na nagkaroon tayo ng ganyang video dahil napakadali pong patunayan ng pananagutan nitong pulis neto dahil i-authenticate lang po yung video na yan kung sinong kumuha at pwede na pong matanggap yan bilang ebidensya. Nandyan po ang teknolohiya para mapabilis po ang paglilitis ng mga lumalabag sa batas. Kaya nga po, may ilan nagsasabi dapat magkaroon ng body cam ang pulis para makita natin kung anong nangyayari bago gumamit ng dahas ang pulis, no?
Muntinlupa Representative Rufy Biazon emphasized the need for reforms in police operational procedures. This concerns evidence gathering and preservation for a case to stand trial. Biazon made the call following reports that previous cases filed against Master Sergeant Jonel Nuesca were dismissed for lack of substantiative evidence. Nuesca was previously charged for grave misconduct cases involving homicide. Biazon said the Department of the Interior and Local Government and the Philippine National Police should not treat the killing of Sonia and Frank Anthony Gregorio as an isolated case, but look at it as a symptom of an institutional ill and an indication that something is defective in the institution. He said House Bill number 32, or the Body Camera Act, would greatly help in providing evidence that can be for or against the police. The bill prohibits the deactivation of body cameras until an encounter or operation has fully concluded and the law officer has left the scene. It also provides for the storage and archiving of video footage for at least 3 years from the time it was recorded. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año labeled Police Master Sergeant Jonel Nuesca a cold-blooded murderer and a disgrace to the police profession. Año said Nuesca would face the full force of the law for the double murder of a mother and son in Paniqui, Tarlac. Año says both the Department of the Interior and Local Government and the Philippine National Police would never tolerate wrongdoings in the police service, as he appealed to the public not to condemn the entire police organization for his crimes. Año said he has smeared the memory of 229 police officers who were killed in action while fighting crime, drug syndicates, and communist terrorists since 2016. This is apart from the 812 others who have been wounded in police operations. He said the department will work hard to rebuild the reputation of the police organization and institute more reforms to prevent a repeat of this incident. The Philippine National Police is targeting to completion of dismissal case against Senior Master Sergeant Jonuel Nuesca within 30 days. Nuesca is facing charges for 2 counts of murder and an administrative case for the killing of Sonia Gregorio and her son Frank Anthony on Sunday. Director General Alfegar Triambulo of the PNP Internal Affairs Service says he would go to Turlock to personally monitor the case. Triambulo said the video taken during the incident is a big factor in the course of the investigation. The report says the argument rooted over the use of boga of Frank while the influence of liquor until the land issue came up. Nuescas was said he was trying to arrest Frank, but his family members stopped him. Meanwhile, PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Idelbrandi Usana dismissed the incident as an isolated act of criminality that does not reflect the PNP's policies and practice. Usana also confirmed that the chief of police of the Bato Municipal Station in Catanduanes was relieved from his post following his remarks on the shooting incident, which drew flack from the netizens. The Philippine National Police is planning to come up with an anger management study for police officers. PNP Chief General Debold Sina said what happened in Paniki, Tarlac is a case of mishandling a confrontation due to a sudden burst of anger. He said this was manifested by Nuesca himself when he decided to surrender and face the charges, apparently after his anger simmered down. Sina said police officers would be given appropriate training on confrontations and other situations that could trigger gun violence. Turlock Bishop Enrique Macaraeg condemns the killing of Sonia Gregorio and her son Frank Anthony by Police Officer Senior Master Sergeant Jonuel Nuesca. In a statement, Macaraeg says, "Our faith assures us that this cry will reach the ears of God. There is no escaping from the justice of God, even if sometimes justice on earth is hard to find." He also lamented that the incident happened a few days before Christmas, when Filipinos should be celebrating love and peace brought by the birth of Jesus Christ. He said the diocese would assist the family of the victims. President Rodrigo Duterte is scheduled to sign the proposed 4.5 trillion peso national budget for 2021 on Monday. The ceremonial signing will be held in Davao City. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said 5 representatives each from the Senate and the House of Representatives will be invited to witness the signing of the proposed 2021 General Appropriations Act. The biggest recipients of the proposed 2021 budget are the Departments of Education, Public Works, Health, Local Government, Defense, Social Welfare, Transportation, Agriculture, and Labor. The judiciary will also receive a big chunk of the proposed 2021 spending, which is 44.1 billion pesos. The ratified 2021 spending measure also includes an allocation of 72.5 billion pesos for COVID-19 vaccines. The government's Build Infrastructure program will also get an additional 44.8 billion pesos. President Duterte is set to celebrate Christmas in his hometown, Davao City. Duterte's Christmas tradition is to celebrate it without fanfare and visit young cancer patients at the Southern Philippine Medical Center in Davao City every year. But for this year, there is no mention of any possible activities. The president earlier called on his fellow Filipinos to skip Christmas festivities to prevent the potential surge of COVID-19 cases in the country. Still to come, a survey showed that more Filipinos are satisfied with how the government handles the COVID-19 pandemic. Telco companies work overtime to boost internet connectivity in the country. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
pangalagaan ng sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Hanggat maaari, umiwas sa mataong lugar. Iwasang hawakan ang ilong at bibig, maging malinis sa katawan at ugaliin ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay. Takpan ang ilong at bibig kung uubo o babahing. Umiwas sa mga taong nagpapakita ng sintomas ng coronavirus disease gaya ng lagnat, ubo at sipon. Magsuot ng face mask kung kinakailangan. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. A political consultancy firm says a majority of Filipinos have shown appreciation for the Office of the President and the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. In a survey held on December 3 to 9 by Publicus Asia, the Office of the President gets a 67.8% approval score, while the IATF EID gets 62.6%. The toll firm says they were also the only government offices to receive approval ratings beyond 60%. Other national agencies with high approval were the Department of Science and Technology, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Interior and Local Government, the Presidential Communications Operations Office, and the Department of Agriculture. About 1,500 respondents were interviewed for the independent and non-commissioned poll. The Philippines is temporarily banning flights from the United Kingdom from December 24 to 31 due to concerns over the spread of a new variant of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. President Rodrigo Duterte approved the Interagency Task Force Resolution 90 as part of efforts to prevent the entry of a new variant of SARS-CoV-2 in the country. Under the said resolution, all passengers who have been to the UK within 14 days immediately before arrival in the Philippines are temporarily restricted from entering the country in the same period. Those who arrive before December 24 will be required to undergo stricter quarantine and testing protocols. Outbound travel to the UK will likewise be subject to the exit protocols of the Philippines and the UK. More than 40 countries have shut their borders to the UK due to fears over the new coronavirus strain spreading 70% faster than others. Large parts of southeast England, including London, are under a new stricter level of restrictions to prevent the spread of the virus. The Department of Health has chosen General Santos City as among the pilot areas in the country for the COVID-19 vaccination next year. Dr. Rochelle Oco, acting head of the City Health Office, said they have been instructed by the agency to start the necessary preparations for the rollout of the vaccination program in the area. The vaccination is targeted to start by February. Oco said City Mayor Ronel Rivera is fully supporting the move and directed the immediate creation of a technical working group. The TWG will spearhead the establishment of a plan for its rollout, which will cover the utilization of the vaccine allocation as well as the identification of the recipients and the priority areas. She assured the city has enough cold storage facilities that may be used in case the government will deliver the vaccines developed by drug companies Pfizer and BioNTech. About 100% of police infected in Negros Occidental have reportedly recovered from COVID-19. More on this and other news from the provinces from Marita Moahe.
The Negros Occidental Police Provincial Office reported 0 active COVID-19 cases among its personnel as of Tuesday. All 38 patients from various stations have already recovered based on the latest health records. Some of the policemen who recovered were able to donate convalescent plasma to the Corazon Locsin Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital Blood Bank. Among the early cases recorded by NOCPPO were personnel assigned to secure locally stranded individuals and returning overseas Filipinos in various quarantine and isolation facilities. Meanwhile, at least 222 COVID-19 patients in Central Luzon were added to the list of recoveries in Region 3, according to the DOH Central Luzon Health Development on Monday. This brought the total number of recoveries in the region to 88.5% of the total of 25,085 confirmed cases. The DOH-CLHD also reported that there are 1,955 active cases since March. Those who succumbed to COVID-19 in the region is 3.7% or 937. The DOH-CLHD cited the need to strictly observe the minimum health standards as the threat of COVID-19 is still present, especially during the holidays. In other news, residents of Adams, Ilocos Norte believed the proposed face-to-face classes are still not feasible unless a vaccine for COVID-19 is available for all. The smallest town of Adams in Ilocos Norte, still COVID-free, has been proposed as a pilot site for face-to-face classes in the province. Several parents and guardians who took part in an online survey in Ilocos Norte were uncomfortable sending their children back to school until the national health crisis is under control. The town's 269 elementary pupils and 254 high school students have been on homeschooling since October with the use of purely modular learning. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Marita Muaje.
In our business news, Globe Telecom and Smart have announced improvements in their infrastructures amid the warning by President Duterte for telco companies to shape up before the year ends. Globe Telecom on Tuesday lauded several local government units for allowing the company to fast-track its improvement of services in underserved locations. In a statement, Globe said these LGUs are in Palawan, Nueva Ecija, Negros Oriental, Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, Cebu, Quezon, Batangas, Bulacan, and Ifugao. Earlier in December, Globe said Makati, Manila, Marikina, Calamba City in Laguna, Tagaytay City in Cavite, and Legazpi City in Albay were the first LGUs to set up their one-stop shop for permitting requirements of telecommunication companies. If more LGUs ease up on their permitting requirements, Globe hopes to install 2,000 cell towers in 2021. Meanwhile, PLDT and its wireless subsidiary Smart announced that they have secured a record number of permits to build and upgrade cell sites in the second half of 2020. PLDT Smart said over 2,500 permits to build cell sites were secured by Smart alone, with an additional 4,000 permits secured by PLDT. Alfredo Panlilio, Smart President, CEO, and PLDT Chief Revenue Officer, thanked the government for making it easier for the company to expand its reach and build out its network. To date, Smart has over 10,000 cell sites in the country. PLDT's fiber infrastructure, meanwhile, spans 422,000 kilometers and is projected to reach 48% of the country by the end of the year. Up next, the Philippine Army is calling for an end to what they call as CPP-NPA virus. And let us take a look at soldiers and police officers who bring joy to kids this Christmas season. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Alamin ang mga dapat gawin sa lugar ng trabaho laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ang mga kumpanya ay dapat magbigay ng face mask sa kanilang mga empleyado. Bukod dito, magbigay kaalaman din patungkol sa COVID-19. Siguraduhin malinis ang kapaligiran. Maglagay ng sabon at hand sanitizer sa mga palikuran. Siguraduhin ligtas at nalutong maigi ang mga pagkain sa kantina. Obserbahan ang kalusugan ng mga empleyado at katrabaho. Kung sakali man na mayroon silang sintomas ng coronavirus disease, gaya ng lagnat, ubot sipon at hirap sa paghinga, ay agad ipasuri sa doktor. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The LRT-1 will remain open during the upcoming holidays but will close early on the night before Christmas and on New Year's Eve. The Light Rail Manila Corporation said it will implement shortened service hours on December 24 and December 31, both declared as special non-working holidays by the government. The LRT-1's operating schedule will be from 4:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. on December 24 and 4:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. on December 31. On Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and on weekends, the LRT-1 will continue to serve passengers based on its regular weekend or holiday schedule. Meanwhile, Roosevelt Station will remain temporarily closed until further notice to accommodate the ongoing construction of the government's Common Station or the Unified Grand Central Station. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, warned members of the Association of DSWD Social Workers Incorporated of organizations with malicious intentions seeking partnerships. DSWD Secretary Rolando Joselito Bautista told social workers not to allow their organization to be used by another that is not in accordance with their intent and purpose. Bautista made the statement during the ceremonial signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between DSWD and ADSWI, an organization of employed social workers. ADSWI President Ricky Bunao said the association was officially recognized by the DSWD in 2012. Through its active participation in the field, it became the newest member of the ASEAN Social Work Consortium in 2018. DSWD pledged its continued commitment toward the advancement of social work practices and profession. The Philippine Army in Ilocos Norte has called for the support of local government units in their move to eradicate the CPP-NPA, which it dubbed as a long-time virus which is deadlier than COVID-19. Brigadier General Audrey Pasha, commander of the 702nd Infantry Brigade, 7th Infantry Division, has asked local chief executives present to win the presence of local threats who are supporting the communist terrorists. Pasha said for more than 50 years, the CPP-NPA continued to infect various sectors such as farmers and students, among others. The provincial government of Ilocos Norte has also assured support to those who surrender with a provision for housing and livelihood assistance. Since 2012, Ilocos Norte has sustained its status as insurgency-free, but local threats still persist in the area. Meanwhile, a top Army official has called on Caraga region's business sector to help the government end the extortion activities of the NPA. Brigadier General Maurito L. Licudin, commander of the Army's 402nd Infantry Brigade, said extortion capacitates the NPA to perpetrate atrocities. Licudin said the NPA collects around 15,000 to 20,000 a month in Butuan City alone. The Army's official call came after 16 business owners belonging to the Butuan City Chamber of Commerce and Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce Association Incorporated pledged to stop paying the revolutionary taxes demanded by the NPA. In July this year, at least 25 contractors and construction firms in the region also pledged not to give in to the rebels' extortion activities. Cebu will soon reopen to international flights ferrying foreign tourists. The provincial government and the city government of Lapu-Lapu, where the Mactan Cebu International Airport is located, have agreed to reopen the country's second busiest air hub to international arrivals. Lapu-Lapu City Mayor Junard Chan met with Governor Gwen Garcia on Monday to get her support on his plan to reopen the MCIA to international flights. Garcia pushed for the reopening of tourism activities in the province to allow the economy to recover from the crippling effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The governor also pushed for the reopening of the province's borders for tourists from neighboring provinces in central Visayas. Cebu province has been placed under modified general community quarantine since July. Soldiers are spreading holiday cheer to remote villages, including those affected by insurgency this Christmas. In Leyte, troopers of the Philippine Army's 802nd Infantry Brigade have been patrolling remote communities while wearing Santa Claus hats, singing Christmas carols, and giving food packs and candies. The activity has already covered the villages of Dayhagan, Sumanga, Manga, and Dunghol villages in Ormoc City, Poblacion area in Albuera, and Hiluktogan village in Carigara. Over the weekend, soldiers meet with former rebels currently undergoing the government-sponsored landscaping training in Villaconzoilo village, Haro, Leyte. The priority in the activity are poor families, rescued families, and former recruits of the CPP-NPA and former rebels. The next activity will target pedicab drivers in Albuera, Leyte before Christmas Day. Meanwhile, bicycle riding troops on the 1st Cavalry Battalion have played Santa Claus to bring joy to children in the mountainous community of Zamboanga del Sur amid the health pandemic. Lieutenant Colonel Romel Pereña, 1st Cavalry Battalion commander, said in a statement Tuesday that the activity is in line with his command's Alay Pajak program. Pereña said the troops decided to play Santa Claus and bring toys to the homes of children as the restrictions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 are greatly affecting the observance of the Christmas season. The troops also took the opportunity to distribute face masks and reminded the villagers of the danger of COVID-19. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The proposed imposition of the death penalty in the country surfaced following a brutal killing in Turlock. The 2021 national budget is already finalized and will be signed by the president on Monday. A survey showed that more Filipinos are satisfied with how the government handles the COVID-19 pandemic. And let us take a look at soldiers and police officers who bring joy to kids this Christmas season. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And it is 2 days to go before Christmas, and even though times are difficult and trying, this is still a season of hope, a season of warmth, and a season of love. So let us not forget that. Let's be thankful and grateful for the things that we still have and hope for a better 2021. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. We tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day, stay safe, and happy holidays, everyone.